Most people don't fail because they are not capable. They fail because they try to control everything. And life doesn't work that way. You plan everything. You think, if I do this, I'll get that. You set perfect timelines. You expect perfect results. But then reality hits, and nothing happens the way you imagined. You work hard, but results are slow. You care deeply, but people don't understand you. You try to fix relationships, but they keep breaking. You try to build your career, but doors keep closing, and slowly, something inside you starts getting tired. Not physically, but mentally. Not your body, but your soul. You begin to overthink every step. Should I have said that? Should I have done this differently? You doubt your decisions. You replay conversations in your head at 2 a.m. You question yourself again and again, and the worst part, you start believing that maybe you are the problem. Maybe you're not smart enough. Maybe you're not lucky enough. Maybe you were never meant to succeed. Hi, my name is Ian, and today I want to share a simple story that might change the way you look at your struggles. This story is not about success, it's about peace. It's about what happens when you stop fighting life and start trusting it. There was a boy named Zine. He was not lazy. In fact, he was one of the most hardworking people you could meet. He had dreams, big dreams. He wanted to become successful, respected, and happy. Not for fame, but to prove to himself that he was worth something. Every day he woke up at 5 a.m. He made detailed plans in his notebook, hour by hour. He followed routines like a machine. He pushed himself harder than anyone else around him. His friends would go out. Zine would study. His family would sleep. Zine would work on his skills. He sacrificed weekends. He sacrificed comfort. He sacrificed sleep, but something strange kept happening. No matter how much effort he put in, things didn't go his way. If he started a new business idea, it failed within 3 months. If he applied for jobs, he got rejected after the final round. If he trusted someone with his heart, they disappointed him. If he planned for success, life gave him unexpected problems. Medical bills, family issues, sudden expenses. It felt like life was playing against him. Like the universe had a personal grudge. One day, after his third business failed, Zine sat alone in his room. It was 11 p.m. His room was dark except for his laptop screen. His bank balance was almost zero. His energy was below zero. His mind was full of noise. Why is this happening to me? Am I doing something wrong? Why can't things just work out for once? Everyone else seems to be moving forward. Why am I stuck? He felt frustrated, angry, tired, empty. He looked at his reflection in the black screen and didn't recognize himself. Dark circles, dead eyes, a forced smile he wore for others. He thought maybe he needed to try harder. Maybe he was missing something. Maybe he wasn't disciplined enough. So the next day he worked even more. He woke up at 4 a.m. instead of 5. He controlled every detail of his day. He planned every step carefully. Breakfast at 4:15, study at 4:30, exercise at 6. He tracked his habits in 3 different apps. He watched 10 motivational videos before starting work. But the more he tried to control everything, the more things slipped out of his hands. It was like trying to hold water tightly. The harder he squeezed, the faster it escaped. His health started breaking. His relationships started fading because he had no time for anyone. His mind was always racing, always planning, always worrying. Weeks passed, then months. Zine wasn't just tired anymore, he was exhausted. He was burned out. He was questioning if life was even worth it. One evening, he went to visit his grandfather. Not because he wanted advice, but because he just wanted silence. He was tired of people telling him, work harder or stay positive. He just wanted to sit somewhere where nobody expected anything from him. His grandfather was sitting in the garden, calmly watching the sunset. He was 78 years old. His hands were wrinkled, his eyes were calm. He wasn't doing anything, just breathing, just watching. Zine sat next to him without saying anything. For 10 minutes, there was complete silence. No phone, no advice, no judgment, just the sound of birds. After a while, his grandfather spoke softly. He didn't look at Zine, he kept looking at the sky. You look like someone who is fighting a war inside his mind. Zine didn't reply, but his silence said everything. His shoulders dropped. His eyes filled with tears he refused to let fall. After a long pause, Zine finally said, his voice barely a whisper. I'm trying everything, Grandpa, everything, but nothing is working. I work 16 hours a day. I don't waste time. I do everything right. So why does it feel like I'm moving backward? His grandfather smiled gently, still looking at the sunset. Tell me, Zine, when you plant a seed in this garden, do you dig it up every day to check if it's growing? Zine looked confused. He wiped his eyes. No, of course not. That would kill it. Because it takes time, Grandpa. It grows on its own, underground, where you can't see it. You just have to water it and wait. His grandfather nodded slowly. Exactly. You give it water, you give it sunlight, you remove the weeds. And then you let it happen. You trust the process. You don't panic every morning because you don't see a tree yet. Zine stayed quiet. The words were simple, but they were cutting deep. Then his grandfather turned to look at him for the first time. His eyes were kind but serious. But what you are doing in life is different, my son. You are planting seeds, your business, your career, your relationships. And then you are digging them up every single day with your doubts, your fears, and your desperate need to control everything. You check results every hour. You panic when growth is slow. You compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You don't trust the timing, you don't trust the process, you don't trust yourself. That sentence hit Zine like a truck. For the first time, he realized something that made his chest hurt. He wasn't failing because he wasn't working hard enough. He was failing because he wasn't allowing things to grow naturally. He was forcing outcomes. He wanted success in 3 months that takes 3 years. He was trying to control timing. He wanted the harvest without respecting the seasons. He was expecting life to follow his plan instead of understanding that life has its own pace. He was so obsessed with the destination that he was destroying the journey. From that day, Zine decided to change one thing. Not his goals, not his dreams, not his ambition, but his approach. He still woke up early. He still worked hard. He still stayed disciplined. But this time, he stopped chasing results every single day. He stopped opening his analytics 50 times a day. He stopped measuring his worth by daily outcomes. He started focusing only on what he could control: his effort, his attitude, his consistency. And everything else, the timing, the results, people's opinions. He let it happen. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Actually, it felt terrifying. His mind kept screaming, "You're not doing enough. You're falling behind. Everyone else is winning. You need to control more. You need to check more. You need to worry more." For the first few weeks, he felt like he was being lazy, even though he was working the same hours. Because his brain was addicted to stress, addicted to control, addicted to chaos, but slowly something changed. He felt lighter, like a 50 kg weight was lifted off his chest. The stress reduced, the overthinking slowed down. He started sleeping better, he started smiling without forcing it. And for the first time in a long time, he felt peaceful, not because his problems disappeared, but because he stopped fighting battles he couldn't win. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. And then results started showing. Not suddenly, not magically, but naturally, like a seed becoming a tree. The same work he was doing before now started giving results. The same efforts now started making sense. The same doors that were closed started opening. Because this time he wasn't desperate, he wasn't forcing, he wasn't leaking his energy through overthinking, because this time he wasn't fighting life. He was flowing with it. He was working with the current, not against it. And that made all the difference. Now think about your own life. Be honest with yourself for 30 seconds. You say you want success. You say you want peace. You say you want growth. You say you want a good relationship. You say you want money. You say you want freedom. But at the same time, you are trying to control everything. You want instant results. You want perfect timing. You want everything to go exactly your way. You want people to behave how you want. You want life to follow your Excel sheet, and when it doesn't, you get frustrated. You get angry at God. You get angry at yourself. You start thinking the world is unfair. You start thinking you're cursed. But here's the truth most people avoid. The truth that will set you free if you accept it. Not everything is in your control. And the more you try to control what you can't, the more you suffer. You can't control the economy. You can't control other people's actions. You can't control when your breakthrough will come. You can't control who likes you. You can't control the timing of your success. Just let it happen doesn't mean you become lazy. It doesn't mean you sit on the couch and wait for miracles. It doesn't mean you stop trying. It means you stop forcing. It means you do your part with 100% effort and trust the process for the results. It means you water the seed every day, but you don't cry because it's not a tree in 7 days, because some things take time. Some things need patience. Some things need you to fail first so you learn. And some things only work when you stop chasing them desperately. Think about it. The more desperately you chase someone, the more they run. The more desperately you chase money, the more it avoids you. The more desperately you chase peace, the more anxious you become. From my perspective, the biggest mistake people make is confusing effort with control. Effort is necessary. Effort is your duty. Effort is what you owe to your dreams. Control is an illusion. Control is ego. Control is what destroys your peace. You don't control outcomes. You don't control timing. You don't control people. You only control your actions, your preparation, your attitude, your response. So focus on that, master that, own that, do your work, stay consistent, improve yourself every day. Show up even when you don't see results. Water the seed even when the ground looks empty. And then let it happen, because sometimes the moment you stop forcing things is the moment everything starts falling into place. Sometimes the moment you loosen your grip is the moment life puts something better in your hand. Sometimes peace comes not when you get what you want, but when you stop needing to control everything. And if you really want to stop delaying your life, then you should watch my previous video. Tomorrow is a lie. Because the first step to trusting the process is to stop saying, I'll start tomorrow. The first step to peace is to stop postponing your life. The way you delay decides how much you suffer, and the way you act today decides what you become. You can't control the future, but you can ruin today by worrying about it. Until then, remember this. Stop fighting life, start trusting it. Stop forcing outcomes, start focusing on effort. And let it happen.